It's a blockbuster Sunday in the WNBA on Ultimate Sports Media, and what a matchup. Two of the league's top teams ready to get it on in an all-Midwestern affair as Caitlin Clark brings the Indiana Fever into the Twin Cities. They're into town today to face the number one team in the W, the Minnesota Lynx. It should be quite the scene and quite the matchup on this Sunday in Minneapolis. We've got the Fever, we've got the Lynx. It should be a doozy here on USM. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Seth Eaves. Thank you so much for being with us. We've saved you the best seat in the house. No, it is not 94-92. Some idiot forgot to recheck the score, but that said idiot is going to do that right now. That's not me calling out anybody. So get ready to watch in real time to watch this score change, if you will. Well, you know the story about these two particular teams. You know about the Minnesota Lynx, Nafisa Collier, Olivia Miles. They have been stunning on people for fun this year in the league. They're number one right now, and Cheryl Reeves' team has to be considered one of, if not the favorites, to win the WNBA championship come October. In come for the Minnesota Lynx, I should say, her team to be the champion. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever come in, Stephanie White's team, and amidst a lot of controversy, mostly off, but even sometimes on the court, they've quietly put together a very, very solid season. It should be a most interesting encounter here. Here this afternoon. So we've got the Fever and the Lynx. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Starting lineups: Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Holt, Monique Billings, Leah Boston for Indiana, Miles Williams, McBride, Collier, Natasha Howard, the five for Minnesota. This has been a great weekend of action here on the channel of WNBA, and what a creme de la creme Sunday treat we have for you to put it into perspective. Two of the hottest teams in the W. Minnesota on a 9-game win streak. Indiana on a 5-game win streak. Minnesota first in the league. Indiana currently in fourth. Tip controlled by Indiana. It's the Fever going from right to left in their red uniforms that get us underway. Minnesota will be going the opposite end in their black uniforms. Great crowd on hand at the Target Center in Minneapolis for this one. So here's Clark to Aaliyah Boston. 7 to shoot. Boston trying to knife in off the glass. Tough two. And Aaliyah Boston gets the scoring started for Indiana. On the low block, it's Boston with a bucket, and it's 2-0, 30 seconds in. Here is Natasha Howard with the ball, the veteran for Minnesota. Lob to Collier inside. That's no good. Rebound, Indiana. Clark, and pass deflected off the foot of Kayla McBride. Now Caitlin Clark gets all the headlines, but I'll tell you what, Kelsey Mitchell, she has been very, very fantastic. Here's Clark on the move. Clark, oh, great bounce pass. And underneath, Monique Billings for an easy 2. And a great start for the Fever. They lead it 4-0. Miles now to Howard. Gets it back over to Williams. Williams thought about the shot briefly. Great pass, all alone Howard. Minnesota's on the board. 4-2 lead for Indiana. Here is Clark. She'll try her first 3 of the day. Goes in and out. Rebound, Minnesota, Miles. Miles, outlet pass. McBride, all right, corner 3 is down the hatch. Kayla McBride with a triple, and the Lynx with 5 quick points lead it 5-4. Here comes Indiana. Good lob inside. Billings, fade away. No good. Out of bounds. Who touched it last? Lexi Hull did. And it's going to be Minnesota basketball. So Minnesota back up the floor. Here's Miles on the left side, looking for help. Gets Collier, tough 2 inside, and gets it to go off the glass. Great finish. And it's a 7-4 Minnesota lead as we near the 8-minute mark of the first quarter. Here is Boston inside. Nice 2 by Aaliyah Boston. And it's a 7-6 Minnesota lead. Here's Collier. Working. Boston defends, and Collier misses the shot. Billings now over to Clark. Clark, what a pass. Boston extra pass. A right wing 3 for Indiana for the lead. Canned by Kelsey Mitchell. Great basketball by the Fever, and they take the lead 9-7. Miles coming back the other way. Oh, what a move. What a move, and what a basket by Olivia Miles. 9-9. Breakneck speed to start this one. Mitchell, long 2 from 15, off the front of the rim, no. Hull got the rebound. Mitchell back of the left wing for 3. That one's good. Kelsey Mitchell with a second bite of the cherry knocks a triple down, and it's a 12-9 lead for Indiana. Miles. Collier, straightaway 3. No good. Howard Williams got the rebound. Back to Miles. She'll try from the left wing, and that one's good. Olivia Miles from downtown, and we are knotted up at 12 apiece. Amazing start to this one. Clark up ahead to Billings. No good, but a foul. Going on Miles. Indiana and Minnesota's meetings this season. Well, how about this being the first? Just the first being between the two teams. They're only going to play 3 times. They'll also play the last 2 games of Minnesota's regular season in Indianapolis on September 22nd and then September 24th in Minneapolis. First free throw is good by Billings. Averaging 12 points a game in her last 5. They're averaging just 6 in the first 25. Second free throw is good. And Indiana leads it 14-12. Here's Natasha Howard up the floor for Minnesota. Gets it to Olivia Miles. Miles had it poked away by Mitchell and out of bounds. Stephanie White. She is basketball for a lot of people in the state of Indiana. Heck of a career. Miss Basketball back in 1995, the national champion at Purdue. Now the head coach of the Indiana Fever. Here is Collier. Howard's left block shot is good. Natasha Howard ties the game at 14 apiece. Mitchell, left block, looking for the pass inside, and getting the jumper to go was Billings in the paint. Good work by Monique Billings at 16 to 14 Indiana. Here's Miles, reverse layup, good. Brilliant work. And this rookie sensation, Olivia Miles, is cooked. And speaking of cooking, this game is cooking. 16-16, and we're not even halfway through the first. Here's Clark looking for the bounce pass. Took a deflection, and I think it was a kick. It was a kicked off of a Minnesota player. My goodness, what a game. You hope these games live up to the billing, and they have so far. And boy, the TV cameras couldn't catch it. And Indiana now leads at 18 to 16, and there was a foul on the play as well. We say hi to our good friend Christian Malley, who is with us today. And Kelsey Mitchell with a chance at a three-point play for Indiana, and the hierarchy free throw is good. 19 to 16, Fever have the lead. Here is Howard. Looking for the good pass underneath, and Hall with the block. It does go out of bounds, so it's going to go back to Indiana. Tasha Howard. Back out to Courtney Williams, and Williams the three. But Indiana at breakneck speed. Billings. Oh, my goodness. Lincoln, you missed basketball. Miles now going at the other end. Reverse layup. 21 apiece. Mitchell's back the other way. Mitchell. She couldn't get it to go. Rebound, Collier. And here we thought this was a NASCAR off weekend. It's a very NASCAR pace to this one right here. Miles on the right wing, 11 to shoot. Good pass. Collier straight away. Bucket. A three ball for Nafisa Collier, and it's 24-21 Lynx. 5 points for Collier. Now Clark up the floor. Has not scored yet in this game. Losing the basketball, but getting it back briefly. Here's Aaliyah Boston. Boston, ball slipping out of her hand. And it's going to go out of bounds, and that's going to take us to a break. And in some ways, we need the break. And oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. I just saw something that I'm not going to mention on the air. 24-21, Lynx lead with 4:15 in the first quarter. 24-21 Minnesota. 4:15 to play in the first quarter. Good one here between the Lynx and the Fever, as you would expect it to be. Been played at breakneck speed. Lisa Collier, of course, coming back from injury in the last 3 games since she's returned. Minnesota has been on fire, and of course, when you have a rookie like Olivia Miles that's been playing the way she has, it has been pretty darn good. Indiana on the inbounds pass. Clark, fade away from 8. Good. And Caitlin Clark has her first points of the day. It's only the second shot she's taken in the game. She missed on a 3 earlier, but hits that one. 2 points and 3 assists. It's got the Fever back to within 1. Here come the Lynx now with Williams and Williams. Tough 2 inside. Good work by Courtney Williams. 26-23. Clark went for Boston, and then Boston is fouled. 3:47 to play in the first quarter. Again, glad to have you with us on this Sunday afternoon or early evening, depending on which part of the world you're choosing to access us from. Caitlin Clark, this last 2 seasons combined, 48 mid-range points. She has 48 mid-range points this year. Inbounds this one to Kelsey Mitchell. Clark. Here is Billings. That's way off on a 3. And a rebound gathered in by Williams. Minnesota's made their last 7 field goal attempts. Williams make it 8. Courtney Williams with a 3. And it's 29-23 Lynx. Lynx now trying to put the pressure up. Trying to put pressure on. And it is going to be a foul against Natasha Howard. WNBA coverage continues tomorrow night at 7 Eastern as the Las Vegas Aces head to the ATL to take on Angel Reese of the Atlanta Dream. That's tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, right here on USM. And then on Thursday night, we'll have the Aces again in Indianapolis to take on the Fever. Then Saturday at 1, Las Vegas, Minnesota, and Las Vegas at the New York Liberty Sunday at 12:30. Of course, those are some of those games are tentative, but here's Clark, 13 to shoot. Clark, 10. Clark, jumper at the free throw line, good. Mid-range game, the midi game working for Clark early in this one, and it's 29-25. And Minnesota just too good at the other end. 31-25 inside of 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Timpson into the game now for Indiana. Here comes Mitchell. Mitchell top of the key. Looking for help. Sophie Cunningham is into the game too, by the way. Mitchell tried to find Clark, and it was deflected out of bounds. Originally, Maya Caldwell deflected it, but then it came off of Clark, and it's going to go back to Minnesota. So here come the Lynx, banging it to the floor with Williams. Ayla McBride with it now, and she turned it over. Now into the hands of Cunningham. Cunningham. Mitchell, back to Cunningham on the right wing. Cunningham, now back to Mitchell. Straight away 3, it's good. A 3 ball for Kelsey Mitchell. Good cutting pass inside, though. And again, the Fever just too lackadaisical on defense, as this time it's a layup by Nia Coffey. 33-28 inside of 2 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Here is Clark. Clark on a drive and loose ball. I thought there was a foul called. She wanted it. I thought there was a foul too, but it was a scramble, and Minnesota comes out of there with it. Williams kicks it back out. Maya Caldwell poked. Stolen away by Caitlin Clark. Clark. Oh, that's a long three from 31 feet. And, well, it's not even close. And a rare Caitlin Clark air ball. And she's going to go to the bench with 1:16 to play in the first quarter. Tonya Delara, the rookie out of Belgium, is into the game. Now here, Miles. Now Dorka Juhas. Juhas to Coffee. Coffee on a drive. 11 to shoot. Coffee's mid-range jumper doesn't go. Rebound Indiana with Timpson. Timpson now giving it up to Tyasha Harris. Tyasha Harris, under a minute to play in the first. Billings. Mitchell, great cut to the basket, and a great layup by Kelsey Mitchell. And Indiana back to within 3, 14 for Mitchell. Here is Olivia Miles. Miles kicks it back out. Caldwell, a right wing three. That one wouldn't go. Clear out the rebound, and Coffee with 2. And the Lynx now lead it 35 to 30. Harris up the floor. 1 second difference between game and shot clock. Timpson now back to Harris. 2 second difference between game and shot clock. It's Mitchell with it. Mitchell a 3. Book it again. Kelsey Mitchell doing the work. Minnesota inbound. 3 seconds. Caldwell 1. Caldwell at the foul line. No good. But was fouled on the last play of the quarter. With 1/10 of a second to go, she is fouled. And it's going to go on Kelsey Mitchell. So free throws for Maya Caldwell, and a fifth-year pro out of Georgia misses the first one. 27-year-old from Charlotte, North Carolina, attended Davidson Day School. They actually called that last one a 2 by Mitchell. So here's the inbounds pass. After the second, the May free throw was good, and the free throw was good. Well, Kelsey Mitchell has been the star for Indiana. Miles and Williams doing the business for Minnesota. A fast break, up-tempo, first quarter of action. And we've played 10 minutes in Minneapolis. And the Lynx lead at 36 to 32. We're back in just a moment here on Ultimate Sports Media. 36-32 Minnesota as we get set to start the second quarter. Glad to have you with us here on Ultimate Sports Media. By the way, apparently tennis is in a weather delay. As Matthew Owens said earlier, no NASCAR, but yet he can't get the weather delays out of Ultimate Sports Media. It's quite amazing. NASCAR will return next Sunday at 3:30 Eastern. The Cup Series Iowa Corn 350 from the Iowa Speedway. Some history here. 69 points. So they made that a 3 again. 69 combined points, the most in WNBA history in a quarter. Because of course, here is Olivia Miles with 7 to shoot. Here's a 3 on the left wing, no good. Rebound by Minnesota. Lynx have the basketball, up by 3. Miles. Oh, what a bullet pass. UConn had to adjust to catch, readjust her position, but still was able to put it in under the basket. And the Lynx now have a 5-point lead. Boston. Clark, straightaway 3. Answers back. Well, you airball 1-3, you get a 3 right back. That's the Caitlin Clark experience. Her first 3 of this game, and she has 7 points. Foul away for the ball on Indiana. So the Fever back to within a deuce here, just underway in this second quarter. Here is Minnesota up the floor now. Here is Delera, and the Belgian misses, but a late foul called on Aaliyah Boston, and she makes a dead sprint for the official, asking for a review and asking Stephanie White to challenge it. And I think she is. Stephanie White's going to challenge to see whether this was actually a foul or not. Ooh, boy, it does look like it maybe hit the head of Delera there. So, I mean, it's one of those you be the judge type of deals. While they take this break, I want to remind you that soccer is back, folks, this weekend. Next weekend, a triple dip of action from the EFL Cup. Yes, they're starting the League Cup a week before the actual season in England. Starts Friday, August 7th at 2:45 as Mexican international Raul Jimenez and Wolves take on Port Vale, an all-Midlands affair in the first round of the League Cup. That comes your way at 2:45 Friday. Then Saturday at 10 a.m., West Ham take on Portsmouth from the Olympic Stadium in London. And then at 9, and then Sunday at 11 a.m., Mansfield against Sheffield United. That's all coming up this weekend. This next weekend right here on Ultimate Sports Media. Good to get. Can't wait to get back into the flow of the footy after what happened with the World Cup. We cannot wait. We'll have also on the 15th and 17th, we're going to have action from the opening round of the championship. And then the Premier League, we're going to have plenty of action. Hopefully all season long. You be with us the entire step of the way. And, of course, our sister station, Wellington Sports Radio, Pierre Moss is going to have a boatload of action as well this season. By the way, for those of you that might be wanting to follow the DC Open, just got a message that play will not resume before 2:30 due to rain and lightning over there. So they are in yet another delay. Australia, by the way, ended up winning the top of the medals table at the end of the Commonwealth Games. So let's see. We have an update, and let's see if Stephanie White chatting it up with the officials seems to be all smiles. Does that mean they won the challenge? Yes, Indiana did win that challenge. So back to live action here. Here is Clark for Indiana on the left wing. Bounce pass to Boston. Boston spinning in the lane. Turnaround jump shot is good by Aaliyah Boston, and we're even at 38. Here's Miles up the floor. Miles trying to run. Miles all the way and lost the ball, and he was kicked out of bounds. That inside-outside combo with Clark and Boston. Just an absolutely magnificent duo. Olivia Miles, 11 to shoot. Miles, step back three, good! Miles knocks it down, and the Lynx back in front. It's 41-38. Clark now back to Harris. Clark trying to move inside. Clark hooks one. That one didn't go. Rebound, Minnesota. Here come the Lynx. This is Caldwell. Miles, another three, in and out. And the rebound into the hands of Cunningham. Back to Harris. Indiana with the basketball. Harris. Clark for three. Bucket. Second three of the game for Clark. Evens the score at 41. Here's Miles for Minnesota now on the right wing. Miles now back. Another three. Oh my goodness. This is pinball action. Maya Caldwell down the hatch this time. And the Lynx now lead it by three. Here is Boston to Cunningham. Cunningham giving it out. Here comes Clark. Clark now Cunningham. Cunningham and misses the layup. Loose ball. And Minnesota gets it. Minnesota gets the loose ball. Oh, that was nearly a turnover. And now Cunningham gets hit in the face. And that will... I don't know if it's intentional or not, but you can... That won't set off a social media firestorm or anything. Of course, a busy night at WNBA. I think all their games are on national TV here in America. Let's see what the call is here. Mitchell with 17 to lead Indiana. Miles has 12 to lead Minnesota. Raven Johnson, by the way, is into the game for Indiana. And they're going to check to see if that is a technical. Maybe, I don't know. It's Cunningham. There's like a player's move on it. And Cunningham does get hit in the face, but oh my goodness. So they're going to have an official review. While they have that review, we will step aside. It's the Lynx by 3. Timeout. So nothing more, no foul after that deal, which I expected to be, which you didn't expect that, which you didn't like that much, to be honest with you. But here's Miles with 5 to shoot. Play resumes. Minnesota with the ball after the no foul call, and it's Miles who's on a heater. Olivia Miles knocks another one down. The Lynx lead by a half dozen. 15 for Miles. Clark the other way. Missed the layup. Ball tapped around into the hands of Miles. Miles, all weaving through traffic. Oh, Olivia Miles! Sensational! Goodness me, she is a highlight reel. It's an 8-0 Lynx run. Boston, jump shot, left it short. And Minnesota now on the verge of trying to turn it into a bit of a runaway. Howard. Little 1-2 back to Howard. It's no good. Fight for the rebound. Boston had it briefly, then it ends up getting into the hands of Billings. Now it's Johnson with it for Indiana. Johnson. And Stephanie White is going to take a timeout here. Well, you talk about stars and future stars in the W, everybody does it. Olivia Miles might truly be one. If you know anybody else who's Rookie of the Year in the WNBA, please give me a call. Lynx up by 8. Timeout. (49-41) Minnesota with 5:57 to play in the first half, I should say. We're in the second quarter, and what a game it has been so far. And Olivia Miles and the Lynx have been doing the business here. Coming up at halftime, we'll get you caught up on all the latest news with the WNBA, including a big trade that's happened. Deadline is later today. Clark now gets it to Mitchell. Back over to Clark. 6 to shoot. Clark. Billings with 2. Oh, great pass inside to Raven Johnson. And 2 for her. And it's a 6-point game. And then a steal and out of bounds. American football starts very soon on the family of networks. Saturday, August 29th, 3:30 Eastern, North Carolina State, Virginia. That kicks off our college football coverage. Our NFL coverage starts September 9th with New England and Seattle in a Super Bowl rematch. Here's Courtney Williams, 16-footer, good. The Fever have no answer for the Lynx right now. Clark thought about the shot, then passed it off at the last second. Now here is Clark. Oh boy, Boston lost it. Boston's going to have to put up a 3 with 3 on the timer. Rims out, no good. Rebound, Miles, no. Stepped out of bounds. Stepped out of bounds, so the Fever will have the basketball. Wolfie, of course, showing us talking about the dynamic between Miles and Lindsey Whalen, who is the assistant coach, who's an assistant on this Minnesota team. Great college career at the University of Minnesota, then one of the top assist makers in WNBA history in her time with the Lynx. Mitchell with 5, dunk, Boston, left block, shot, good. For Aaliyah Boston, the Indiana lead is, or the Indiana deficit, I should say, is now down to 6 points. Inbounds, here's Miles, my goodness. Too easy for Olivia Miles. And Minnesota now leads it by 8, and then a turnover, Indiana. Fever have got to be careful, or else this one's going to get away from them. Miles to Williams. Uhas with it, top of the key. Uhas, 26-footer, a bit too strong. Collier Sky the rebound. Williams underneath for an easy 2. Or Howard underneath for an easy 2. And Minnesota now up by 10. Here is Boston. 10 to shoot. Boston. Mitchell, and we got a clear out underneath. And it's on Indiana. Aaliyah Boston pleads her case to the official. It's not the case. So now here's Minnesota, and now Johnson colliding with her. That's another foul against Indiana. This time, it's on Raven Johnson. Again, tomorrow, WNBA upcoming on Ultimate Sports Media tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Las Vegas at Atlanta. Williams to inbound. Miles driving through traffic. Oh my goodness. They have no answer for Olivia Miles. Clark. Indiana's got to come up with something here. And Clark's fouled. But Indiana just has no answer for the rookie out of TCU, Olivia Miles, who, of course, also played at Notre Dame. Mitchell, as play resumes. Mitchell, mid-range shot. Wouldn't fall. Rebound, Miles. And here come the Lynx again. Miles whips one to Duhas. Corner 3. No good. Rebound tapped around, and it's Indiana who gets the rebound. Timpson got it. Gets it to Clark. Clark. Bounce pass to Timpson. Cunningham's calling for it. Timpson. Oh, almost got it. Would have been an and 1. It goes in and out, though, and free throws will be coming up for Michaela Timpson. Second-year pro out of Florida State. 23-year-old from Edison, Georgia. A two-time first-team All-ACC performer with the Seminoles. First free throw is in and out for Timpson. Second free throw, good. And Indiana cuts it to 11 with 3 minutes to play in the first half. Miles, steal by Mitchell. Great work by Mitchell. Mitchell lays it in, all her own work. There was a bit of a bump there. Miles wanted a foul. Still barking at the official about it. None called, though. 19 for Mitchell. Where would Indiana be without her in this game? Miles going to try to let her play, do the talking. Pass underneath the Collier. Fouled and missed it. So two coming for Nafisa Collier, the captain, her 8th year. 29-year-old from Jefferson City, Missouri. A national champion in 2016 at the University of Connecticut. A 5-time All-Star in the WNBA. And, do they call a technical on Minnesota? A technical on Minnesota. And Clark makes the technical free throw. I think Miles might have said something to the official. I don't know what that was all about. But anyway, here comes Collier to the free throw line. First free throw is up. And it's good. Second free throw rattles in. And Minnesota's lead is back to 10. Clark, nearly stolen away by Williams. And they're going to call back court. No, they're going to call a foul on William, on Howard. Well, that's interesting. Shell Reeve is arguing her case. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna say this. I'm really and anyone that knows me knows that I don't often say this. So when I do, I really mean it. But I am really starting to have some sympathy for the officials in this game. Because either way you look at it, it's nothing but consistent whining and crying from players or coaches. I mean, let's just play ball, people. Here's Boston. Now to Mitchell. Kick out 3. Boston rims out. Rebounded by Miles. Miles kicks it back to Juhas. Now it's Williams. Williams. Now over to Juhas. Quick pass to Miles. 8 on the timer. Miles forces one. It's no good. Rebound gathered by Indiana. Mitchell had it. 1-2 now. Back to Mitchell. Mitchell, long 2. Shot blocked. And it stays in bounds, and Minnesota picks it up. Here's Williams. Williams mid-range from 15. That one wouldn't fall. Rebound, Indiana. Kelsey Mitchell. And now here is Cunningham with 15 to shoot. Cunningham. Mitchell. 10 to shoot. Mitchell floats and scores. Great job by Kelsey Mitchell. Fever back to within 8 as we near a minute to play in the first half. 14th straight 20-point game, second longest such streak in WNBA history. A three in the corner by Kayla McBride, and the lead now back to 11 for Minnesota. Harris, Mitchell, tough layup. 62-53. Here comes Williams going the other way to Miles. Miles, a little flip-a-doo in. Oh! Showtime, Olivia. Harris, Cunningham, and a foul away from the ball. What a game this has been. I mean, it's just been up. If you ignore the crying to the officials, this game's been a great exhibition, and Olivia Miles has been the real superstar. Kelsey Mitchell's keeping Indiana in the game. Miles goes to the bench. Harris. Boston now back to Harris. Boston with 3 to shoot. Boston tap, stolen. Minnesota has it. This is Caldwell. Williams with 5 seconds. Williams, 3 seconds. 2. Williams to beat the buzzer. No, and that'll take us to halftime. Well, it's been the Olivia Miles show through 20 minutes in Minneapolis. And it's the Lynx on top at the break, 64-53. Time to get you caught up on all the rest of the stories of the WNBA and the sports world. That's all coming up in a matter of moments. This is Ultimate Sports Media's coverage of the WNBA. You see the score, 64-53, Minnesota on top of Indiana after 20 minutes of play at halftime in the WNBA. Glad to have you with us here on this Sunday as our WNBA Massive Weekend plus one, if you will, continues with the game tomorrow night. Well, it is a big day in the WNBA, of course. It's also trade deadline day in the WNBA, and there was one trade that happened and has been confirmed. It had been rumored for the last few days or so, and overnight, early this morning, if you will, it did happen. The Los Angeles Sparks have traded five-time All-Star Kelsey Plum to the Phoenix Mercury for Monique Akoa-Makani, a 2027 first-round pick and a 2028 second-round pick, according to sources involved with the matter. The sides completed a major deal late night. Plum, of course, was the top trade target in the WNBA. It's just the fourth time in the 30-year history of the league that an All-Star has been traded at mid-season. The two-time champ has been out since June 21st because of a lower left leg injury, but had expected to return for the Sparks' next game today in Portland. It is unknown if she'll be available when Phoenix plays Chicago on Monday, and she still intends on going through the full free agency process of the offseason, but remaining with the Mercury is not off the table. The Sparks are mired in a 6-game losing streak and have gone 2-9 without Plum. She led the WNBA in scoring earlier this year. LA, of course, in a precarious position prior to trading her. They initially committed to a rebuild. They drafted Cameron Brink and Rakia Jackson. They also brought in Nneka Ogwumike and Ariel Atkins, but they look unlikely to make the playoffs for a 6th straight season. And of course, it's a bit of a mess. The future is a bit of a mess too. General Manager Reagan Peebley was let go earlier this month. Zach Knowlton and Nate Nielsen, who are both new to the WNBA, are now the interim GMs. The Plum heads to a Mercury team that's not exactly in the best shape themselves. They're only 11-19. They're 13 games out of first, and they're 6 games behind the 8th place New York Liberty. A 4-game day in the W, as mentioned. This is the first. The second game features the now Plumless Sparks in Portland against the Fire. Come your way out. That'll be at 3:30 Eastern. Then tonight at 7, Connecticut plays at Dallas, and then Toronto and Golden State in the 8:30 game tonight. The big sports story on this day, without question, however, though, is in Major League Baseball, and some consider it a red-letter day, or whatever you would call it, a fork in the road, maybe a seminal moment in the future of Major League Baseball, and maybe not a seminal moment in a good way. The Los Angeles Dodgers have, once again, proven that the saying is true: the rich get richer. The Dodgers, a day and a half before the trade deadline, have pulled off a deal to land Tigers generational ace Tarik Skubal. The Dodgers acquiring the reigning back-to-back American League Cy Young Award winner from the Tigers for a package of 3 prospects: outfielder Zaire Hope, right-handers River Ryan and Brady Smith. A 29-year-old pending free agent will now headline what was probably the best rotation of the sport to begin with, alongside Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, and some guy named Shohei Ohtani. A source told ESPN that Skubal will make his Dodgers debut Tuesday night at Wrigley Field. Now, they tried to play it as if they didn't need him because of their depth, but Snell, who's only made 1 start this season, expected to rejoin after the next rehab outing. Glasnow has been out since May because of back spasms. Ohtani's had a left knee problem, so Skubal, one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in the world. A 2.79 ERA in 16 starts this year. He struck out 116 batters and issued 14 walks in 96 and 2/3 innings. So, there you go. Tarik Skubal, and of course, the big story, the big seminal moment part of this is the talks have really concerned from fans about should there be a salary cap, should there be a salary floor, and of course, Many people believe this is only going to further the chances of a full lockout and no Major League Baseball next season. The Dodgers, who were already a favorite to do this, now with Scooble, you would have to think are the overwhelming favorite to win a third straight World Series championship. So, a big one for Major League Baseball. How do they handle that with potentially no lockout? Who knows? With the lockout, potentially no baseball next year. Who knows? Sunday in the major leagues, early action. Philadelphia, Baltimore, they're scoreless. Washington, Atlanta also scoreless. A lot of games scoreless. Second and third in the second, you got St. Louis and Toronto scoreless. Arizona, Cleveland scoreless in the second. White Sox lead the Rays 2-0 in the second. Marlins and Mets are scoreless in the second. In the second, it's Cincinnati leading Pittsburgh 3-0. Coming up in about 4 minutes' time, Texas plays Houston. You have Yankees Cubs later this afternoon, Kansas City at Colorado, Milwaukee at Anaheim, Detroit at the A's, Minnesota at Seattle, San Francisco, San Diego, and then tonight, Tarek Scooble's new team, the Dodgers, playing host to the Boston Red Sox. The Rays have acquired Freddie Peralta, by the way, in a trade with the Mets. Tough break for the New Orleans Saints as Braylon Brzee will have season-ending ACL surgery. Also, three-time Pro Bowl guard Andrews Pete has retired from the NFL today. And some soccer. Sunday soccer, if you will. Of course, a lot of these are friendly matches. Opening weekend of the Scottish Premiership concluded today. St. Johnstone won a wild game over Kilmarnock 4-3. Motherwell beat Hibs 2-1. Women's Africa Cup of Nations, Cameroon lead Ghana 1-0 at the half. Mali plays Cape Verde. Later tonight, Birmingham Legion of Rhode Island in a rearranged USL Championship game. In the U.S., congratulations to the Vermont Green FC. They won the USL League 2 title last night. And El Farolito won the NPSL Championship in America last night. The Dutch Super Cup was today, the Johan Cruyff Shield, and it was all AZ Alkmaar. They beat 10-man PSV by 4-0. So AZ win the season's first silverware in the Netherlands. So congratulations to them. In Minneapolis, in the W, it's the Lynx leading the Fever 64-53 at the half. We've got the second half from Minneapolis in just a moment. This is the WNBA. ready to begin the second half between Indiana and Minnesota. WNBA on Ultimate Sports Media. Seth Eaves with you here. Lynx looking for their 10th straight win. They lead by 11, going from right to left as you listen. And the Fever go from left to right in their red. And posting up and scoring Natasha Howard to start the second half of action. And Indiana on a 5-game win streak themselves, finding themselves in a 13-point hole. Here's Caitlin Clark. Good fake. Runner in the lane. Good. Nice mid-range shot floater by Clark there. And it cuts the Fever deficit down to 11. 13 points. Here is Howard. Williams. Now back to Howard. And Howard's fouled by Lexi Hull. That's how things... First foul of this second half. Stephanie White's team, no doubt, in trouble, and the defense is resting and napping. Miles with an easy cut to the basket on a layup, and it's a 13-point game. Here's Clark with a bounce pass. Billings, and foul by Miles. And that was a pretty obvious one if you believe that. So that should send Monique Billings to the line, the 30-year-old from Riverside, California. Ninth-year pro out of UCLA, a two-time All-Pac-12 performer with the Bruins. Playing for Corey Close. Billings makes the first. Another one coming for Billings. And it rims out. Rebound, Minnesota, Collier. Indiana trying to play tight defense, but not working. Here is Collier with 12 to shoot. Collier now back over to Miles. Miles double team. Miles wraparound pass. Good save. Here's a bounce pass. Howard with 2 to shoot. Driving in the lane. No good, but a foul. It's a tough break for Indiana. You play good defense and you commit the foul with 2 on the shot clock. Natasha Howard, 34-year-old from Toledo, Ohio, played collegiately at Florida State. A 3-time WNBA champion is Howard. 3-time All-Star as well. First free throw. Good. The second free throw. No good. Billings got the rebound. Billings. Clark. Lobbing it inside. Boston left it short. Now into the hands of Miles. Lynx have numbers. And deflected by Boston, but it's going to go out of bounds, so it'll stay with Minnesota at the 8:16 mark of the third quarter. 13-point lead for the Lynx. Here's a bounce pass. Here's an inbounds pass. Here's Williams. Mid-range, 2 good. 2 more for Courtney Williams. The former South Florida Bull extends the lead to 15. 71 to 56. Clark, all stripped out of her hand. Clark, and a foul. Away from the ball, and this is going to go on Howard. Courtney Williams, 1,039 mid-range field goals entering today. Second only, all-time only, to another former Minnesota player, Simone Augustus. And a violation committed by the Fever. Well, you take a half a step forward and 3 steps back. That's kind of how this game's gone. It was a fast up-tempo start, but Minnesota has seized control, and they're showing the Fever why they are the #1 team in the league. That league only going to grow as Miles stepped out of bounds there. Of course, the game this is going to be a big weekend for Minnesota in terms of being #1 in the upcoming playoffs if they can hang on. Because of course, as you heard on USM yesterday, Las Vegas stunned at the buzzer at Chicago. Clark catch and shoot three, and off the heel, no good. Rebounded by Williams. Williams now to Miles. Miles back to Williams on the right wing. 16 to shoot. Here comes Miles. Miles now meanders left. Double team. Kicking it back out. Here's another three. That one is no good. And Clark with the rebound. The rebound by Clark. Trying to run the show herself. Good pass to Boston. And Boston with a nice layup. Good job there by Aaliyah Boston. 2 more for her. Cuts it to a 13-point deficit. Here comes Miles. Kick out. Williams, 3. Short. Loose ball, and McBride gets it back. Her 3. That's an air ball. And it will go out of bounds and it'll go back to Indiana. So here come the Fever. Clark with the basketball now gives it up to Boston. Levitt to shoot. Here is Boston on the right wing. Back over to Clark. Clark with 5. Clark with 4. Bounce pass to Boston. Hull for 3. Got it. Hull lashes one down the can, and Indiana's back to within 10 on the 3 by Lexi Hull. 71-61. Lynx lead, and they have the ball. Here's Collier. Well, nearly a steal by Hull. McBride able to save it, though. Williams on the pass from Coffey. Williams, another mid-range shot. No good. Rebound into the hands of Williams, and she scores. Got her own miss. Turnaround jumper good. Back to a dozen for the Lynx. They now have 11 second chance points in this game, by the way, do the Lynx. Boston. Boston now over to Mitchell. 5 to shoot. Mitchell, no good. Rebound, Minnesota Collier. Now it's Williams. Now Miles at breakneck speed, and Miles fouled from behind by Hull. First free throw is good for Miles. And the lead now at 13 for the Lynx. Second free throw is also good. And the lead now at 14 again for Minnesota at 75-61. Boston with it now for Indiana. Back to Cunningham. This is Hull, I'm sorry. Hull in the paint. Scored and one. And a chance at a 3-point play for Lexi Hull. Former Stanford Cardinal, 26-year-old out of Liberty Lake, Washington. 5th-year pro out of Stanford. An unrivaled champion. Pac-12 Scholar Athlete of the Year back in 2022. Played, of course, for the great Tara Vanderveer at Stanford. Free throw good by Hull. Has scored 6 points, all of which have come in this quarter. Fever back to within 11. Miles. 12 on the timer. Miles, step back 3. No good. Ball tapped around and saved. McBride a 3, but there was a whistle that stopped play, and I believe there was a foul underneath against the Lynx. That'll take us to our allotted break of the third. 4:59 to play in the third. It's the Lynx on top of the Fever, 75-64. Timeout. 75-64 Minnesota as we resume play with under 5 minutes to play the third. Here's Caitlin Clark for Indiana. Over to Aaliyah Boston. Now is Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell to Clark. Thought about the three. Back to Mitchell. She's had the real hot hand and hits a three. Indiana back to within 8. Kelsey Mitchell, 26 points for Mitchell on 5 of 5 shooting. McBride, 26-footer, not even close. Out of bounds, and Indiana's trying to get some momentum back here as we are in the back half of the third quarter. They'll give it to Caitlin Clark. Clark with a lob to Boston. Boston now over to Mitchell. Mitchell on the take and scores. Kelsey Mitchell with a bucket, and Indiana within 6. Minnesota back the other way, though. It's an 8-0 fever run. Here comes Minnesota. Here's a big three. They need it. They don't get another miss. It's not even close. Clark picked off. Good deflection by Uhas. Miles now back to Uhas. Now it's Caldwell. 13 to shoot. Caldwell flips it back to Miles. And Miles, and pass deflected out of bounds. It's going to stay with Indiana. So now, here's Maya Caldwell for Minnesota. 5 to shoot. Caldwell, Clark got a piece of that. Oh, they're going to call a foul on her, though. Man, well, if there's no doubt that the weak link is her defense, but thought she had played it pretty well there, but indeed did not. And first free throw for Maya Caldwell is good. Another one coming. Eight-point game, 3:36 to go in the third. Here is Clark now over to Mitchell. Mitchell now back to Clark. A lob to Boston out of the left wing. Boston gets it out to Clark. Clark with 8 to shoot. Clark, a lob to Boston. Boston, no. Second bite of the cherry inside. That's Timpson with a bucket. So score 2 for Michaela Timpson. Indiana back to within 6 as we near 3 minutes to play in the third. Collier. Now McBride into the lane. McBride back to Williams. 12 to shoot. Oh, finds the cut in Collier. Hall lost her. And Collier lays it in. On the drive, the layup goes. And it's an 8-point lead for Minnesota. 79-71. Here comes Clark. Clark nearly losing the basketball. 8 to shoot. Clark triggering a hard pass inside, and Billings blocked underneath. And now the Lynx will run again. Williams, teardrop, no. Out of bounds. Whose ball is it? It's going to be Indiana's ball. 2:26 to play in the third. And if you like what you see, or more importantly, what you hear, we invite you to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of future events we have here on Ultimate Sports Media. And if you want to leave a comment, good, bad, or indifferent, telling us, by good, bad, or indifferent, either something about the game, something about our commentary, good, bad, or indifferent, leave a comment in that chat section like Christian did. We'd be more than happy to hear from you. Clark straightaway 3, rims out. Rebound, Minnesota. Here is Caldwell inside of 2 minutes to play in the third. Collier. Turnaround. Good. Here is Maisha Hines-Allen into the game, and now she turned it over. Lynx now with numbers. Delara to Williams, 2 more. And the blink of an eye, Minnesota's lead has gone back to 12. Stephanie White's seen enough. Timeout, Indiana. 83-71 with a minute 36 to play in the third. So 83-71 lead for Minnesota. So 83-71 as we're getting ready to resume action. Indiana down 12, and they've got to figure something out quick, fast, and in a hurry. Here is Tyasha Harris. Harris to Mitchell. Mitchell back to Harris. 8 to shoot. Left wing Harris. 5 to shoot. Harris in the lane. Runner no good, but a foul called. And free throws coming up for Harris. 60-year pro out of South Carolina. 28-year-old born in East Lansing, Michigan, but played high school basketball in Indianapolis at Heritage Christian. Won the Dawn Staley Award in 2020, which goes to the nation's best guard. South Carolina team that was going to be loaded for bear for a title run for COVID marked the end of the 2020 men's tournament. Won a national championship as a freshman with the Gamecocks back in 2017. Harris makes the second. It's a 10-point Minnesota lead. Now here is Coffey. Now back to Delara. Collier knifing inside, no good. Late foul call though. They're gonna get Timpson for that one. 62 seconds to play in the third quarter. Leah Miles on the bench deserves just a slight breather. She's had a great game. Nafisa Collier at the line. Her of 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists on this day. First free throw is up and rattles around and in. 84-73 with 1:02 to play in the third. Second free throw up and no good. Almost a carbon copy, except it didn't go. Rebound Indiana Timpson, now over to Harris. Harris now to Cunningham. Cunningham whips a pass. Hines-Allen the fake, back to Cunningham. Good pass. 3-ball, Mitchell, no good. Rebound to Hines-Allen. Off the window, no good. Hines fighting for it, got it back. Cunningham for 3. That one's good. Sophie Cunningham with a 3, and Indiana's back to within 8. First points of the game for Cunningham. 13 on the timer. 84-76 Minnesota. Williams. Collier for 3, and answer back for Nafisa Collier. The lead now at 11. Harris dribbling around. Shot clock turned off. 8 points in the third for Collier. 15 for the game. 5 seconds left. Harris with 3. Looking for the bounce pass. It's picked off. Minnesota 1 second. Collier from just beyond half court. No good. And that takes us to the end of the third. And Minnesota, well, they withstood the punch that Indiana gave. 10 minutes to go, and the Lynx lead by 11. We're back for the Money Quarter in just a moment here on Ultimate Sports Media. Final quarter about ready to get underway in Minneapolis, where the Lynx, the number 1 team in the WNBA, leading the 4th place Indiana Fever by a score of 87-76. It's been an interesting game here. A fast start in the game. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, the WWE, among those in attendance for today's encounter. Great crowd on hand inside the Target Center in downtown as we're just about set for the final 10 minutes of this one. And Indiana will have the ball, and we start the 4th quarter. Caitlin Clark with the ball for Indiana. Boston, 12 to shoot. Boston on a drive and scores. Great work for Aaliyah Boston. Lays it in. Indiana back to within 9. 12 points now for Boston. Here's Collier. Now back. Now Coffey gives it up now to Delare. And a foul. Whistle away from the ball. Minnesota's back in action on Thursday. They'll host the LA Sparks. They host Vegas Saturday, then it's home to Dallas. Their upcoming games in the next week or so. 87-78. The Lynx on top. Collier with 2 on her. Tough shot. No. Caldwell got the rebound. Williams, 1 to shoot. Williams, extra pass, and it's a shot clock violation. Indiana's upcoming schedule. Fever will host Vegas on Thursday. Then they're at Chicago, and then at home against New York in the next few games for them. Both teams shooting near 60% at or near 60%. Lynx at 60%. The Fever at 57%. And steal and numbers and a layup that's good for Natasha Howard. Back to an 11-point game at 89-78. Harris now over to Boston. Boston at the top of the key. Boston now gives it up to Clark. Clark fakes. Fade away mid-range. Good. Caitlin Clark with 2 more on the mid-range game. Back to a 9-point game on that shot from Clark. Here comes Williams now. 15 for Clark. Williams, oh, she just absolutely crushes it with that mid-range game. And the lead now back to 11. And it looks a long way back for Indiana, you'd have to say. Clark, a 28-footer brick. And saved by Collier. Williams, that's a long 2, and she got it. Indiana, 8:06 to go. And it's a 93-80 lead for Cheryl Reeves Lynx. And they're on the verge of their 25th win in 31 tries on this season. Back in a moment. Indiana Fever have had 5 straight games with 100 points, 13 100-point games this season. That's a WNBA record, but they are in major jeopardy of not hitting that. They have 80 with 7:54 to go, and more importantly, they're down 13 in the game. Boston with 6. Bounce pass to Clark. Clark, a mid-range jumper, and that's good. So 2 more for Clark, and it makes it 93 to 82 with 7:40 and counting. Clark with 17. Here's Miles in the right wing. Lobbing it to Collier. 9 to shoot. Back to Williams. 7. Williams, tough 2. Wouldn't go. Rebound fought for and grabbed by Minnesota. 10 to shoot. Williams, no. Rebounded by Aaliyah Boston. Clark up the floor. Clark. 12 to shoot. Good pass to Boston. In traffic and missed the layup. Boy, it was always going to be a dangerous situation there. We got 2 defenders on her. Collier with 16 on the timer. Collier driving to the bucket. No. And rebound fought for and grabbed by Caldwell with 12 to shoot. Kick out Collier in the corner. Her 3 is good. Nafisa Collier with another 3 ball. And the lead now at 14 for Minnesota with 6:34 to play. 96-82. Here is Boston. Now it's Mitchell. Mitchell gets it back to Clark with 4 to shoot. Clark with 3. Clark all the way and lays it in. Scoop off glass good for Caitlin Clark. The lead is at 12 now for Minnesota. Here is Miles driving, bounce pass, and cut out of bounds. Who touched it last? Minnesota did. And so Indiana will get the ball back with 5:59 to play. Down by a dozen. Down by a dozen points. So here's Clark with it for Indiana. Now meanders to the left side. Clark dumping it and pass picked off. It's Williams now. 1-on-2. Williams will take it herself and hit the mid-range jumper like she always seems to do. It's 98-84. 22 now for Williams. Boston. Mitchell driving and Mitchell scoring. A tough 2 by Kelsey Mitchell as we near the halfway point of this 4th quarter. 30 points for Kelsey Mitchell. She's been a gamer today for Indiana. Williams gives it up now to Howard. And the fadeaway jumper by Collier is no good. Rebound by Indiana's Boston. Now Clark races up the floor. Clark, 15 on the timer. Clark, Boston thought about the 3. Now fakes. Oh, good pass. And a nice finish by Timpson. Nice lob pass and a quick timeout taken by Cheryl Reeve. 3 timeouts for Minnesota. 4:44 to play. WNBA coming up tomorrow night for you. Vegas and Atlanta. So that'll be a good one tomorrow night as the Aces are gonna play here, and this should be a very, very good one. So again, a comfortable lead here for Minnesota as they try to get to the finish line of this one in control. It's been excellent. Minnesota has been excellent, and they've shown why they are the top team in the WNBA. And it's a team that is going to take some stopping when we get to the postseason. Feels like them and Las Vegas are on a collision course to meet up in the finals in October. But there's still a lot of basketball left, and if you've watched sports long enough, you know that anything can and does happen. So 98-88, the Lynx trying to get to the end of this one. Mitchell with 30 today to lead Indiana. Miles with 25. Williams has 22 for Minnesota. Clark with 19 on 8 of 16 shooting for Indiana. Olivia Miles, the rookie sensation. Will it be a case of a child shall lead them? Not that 23 is a child, but it is compared to some of the other veterans on this team. A child shall lead them to the promised land. That might be Minnesota's mantra. And it's Miles with the basketball right now. Lynx up by 10. Howard with the basketball with 12 to shoot. Howard now gets it to Williams. 8 on the timer. Williams. 5 to shoot. Now over to Howard. 2 to shoot. Howard with 1. Howard. And blocked. And it'll be a shot clock violation. Good defense by Indiana. I haven't said that a whole lot today, but it's good defense right there by Michaela Timpson. 4:19 to play. The Lynx lead it by 10. Does Indiana have anything left? Mitchell to Boston. They need scores and stops. Simple as that. Clark. Boston. 9 to shoot. Clark. Wrap around. Boston a right wing 3. Good. Aaliyah Boston knocks down a triple. Indiana back to within 7. It's a 7-0 run for the Fever. Miles double teamed. Miles nearly lost the basketball. Gets it. Saves it. Bounce pass Collier. Straightaway 3. No good. Rebound Indiana Timpson. And now here is Clark up the floor. Here's Clark. Oh, what a pass. Mitchell, reverse layup. Good. It's a 5-point game. And Clark's pumping up the crowd. Well, we're not in Indianapolis, but there are Fever fans, you can bet. And a 9-0 run, and Indiana says, don't write our obituary for this particular game yet. Of course, you also have to factor in there are probably a lot of fans at this game that are more that maybe do something with the Fever, but are more Clark fans and are fans of the University of Iowa. It's 300 miles. It's about 300 miles from Iowa, about 4.5 hours from Iowa City up to Minneapolis. And of course, Iowa, Minnesota, not the states in general, not too far apart. So you've got to imagine there's a lot of people that are cheering for Clark because they're Hawkeye fans as well. So another factor to look at here as to why she was pumping up the crowd. Probably saw some Hawkeye colors as well. Well, I'll tell you what, say what you want about her. Love her, hate her, say what you will about her. She is a draw. She brings the eyeballs. She brings the butts into the seats. And with 3:33 to go, her passing is helping Indiana stay in this game. Minnesota, many thought would have just put it away, but they're only up by 5 points. Miles. Williams on the right wing. Now it goes to Howard. Back over to McBride. 10 to shoot. Collier with 7. Top of the key. Collier has it. Collier gives it up to Williams with 3. Williams with 2. Williams, tough shot. Clark contested it. It is no good, the shot. Rebounded by Boston. Into the hands of Clark. A 9-0 Indiana run. Clark dribbles through. Step back mid-range. No good, but a foul before that. Well, are we heading for another dramatic finish in the WNBA? We had a great doubleheader yesterday. We're having some fun today. A big-time triple. Indiana's back within 2. Williams at the other end hits the mid-range shot. Beaver go at breakneck speed. Timpson to Boston. Mitchell another 3. Not this time. Goodness me, Kelsey Mitchell's going to go to the line for 3. Unbelievable. And still 2:37 to play in the game. Oh, now that might be 2. That might actually be a 2-shot foul. And I think they've called that a 2-shot foul, and I think they are looking at it. I do think she was actually inside the arc. The more that I think about it, it does give the coaches an extra chance to work on some things. 100 to 96, 2:37 to go. We talked about Iowa earlier. A reminder: next Sunday, the NASCAR Cup Series is back, and the stretch run to the end of the chase, and eventually to the championship. Full speed ahead. No more bye weeks. No more off weeks. Starting Sunday, might be looking to see if it's a foul period. Sunday, 3:30 Eastern, the Iowa Corn 350 from the Iowa Speedway. Also next week, NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series on JB Motorsports. See what kind of call they have here. And it is going to be a 3-shot foul for Kelsey Mitchell as Miles committed the foul. .237 left. By the way, the DC Open Women's Final between Alex Ela and Jessica Pegula is back underway. You want to watch that? It is on a separate stream. That has the weather issues seem to have been resolved in the nation's capital. 16th career 30-point game for Kelsey Mitchell. She has 35 points. Make it 36. Second free throw. Up and no good. Mitchell at the free throw. Third free throw. Oh, got a friendly roll. 2-point game. 2:37 to go. Another grandstand finish to the WNBA coming your way here. A 14-2 Indiana run, if you're just joining us, has made this a game when it looked as if Minnesota was heading towards a pretty comfortable victory. Olivia Miles, who's been on fire all game. Miles stripped out of bounds. 2:19 to go, 6 on the shot clock for Minnesota when they inbound the ball. Williams inbounding, tough shot. No! Indiana can tie or take the lead. Unbelievable drama here. Clark right wing. Clark the pass. Boston fake the three. Traveled. Oh my goodness. And Aaliyah Boston's gonna might end up regretting taking that shot in about 2 minutes and 7 seconds of game time. She faked it, but then she carried it. And Caitlin Clark was given the motion saying, you've got to shoot that. Under 2 minutes to play. McBride all the way. Missed the layup. Williams, put back is good. Howard with the putback. Clark, long three. In and out. Boston got the rebound. Cunningham. Clark will try again. Missed again. And then a foul on Indiana on the way down. Clark with 2 chances, but missing 2 big threes. 4-point game. Williams. McBride with 13 to shoot. McBride running scoop off glass. No, another rebound. Williams blocked by Timpson. Now Indiana up the floor. Still got a puncher's chance. Mitchell a 3. No, way off the mark. And a rebound gathered in by Collier. Back to Miles as we approach the final minute of the game. Miles, right side. Miles driving, trying all the way. Miles scored and one. And that might have been the dagger right there. And who else but the surefire Rookie of the Year in the WNBA, Olivia Miles. Man, oh man. She makes the free throw, and the lead is now 7 with 58 seconds left. I believe Indiana is going to take the reset option right here. And they will indeed take that reset option. So the reset coming out there by Stephanie White's team with 58 seconds to go. The Fever down by 7. They need a bucket. It doesn't quite yet have to be a 3. They can get a 2 and it would be just fine. But the pass and is taken away, deflected out of bounds by Howard, and it's going to stay with Indiana. It should stay with Indiana, and it does. 57 seconds. Clark the pass. Mitchell. Pass deflected again, out of bounds again by Collier. It'll stay with Indiana. 55 seconds to go. Clark with the basketball. Clark with the inbounds pass. Clark to Timpson. Timpson driving and laying it in. And score it and 1 for Michaela Timpson. And the Fever do get to 100 once again. Might end up being in a losing effort, but Indiana does hit 100. And just a few minutes ago, we were talking about that. Wasn't quite sure if that was going to be a thing. 6 straight games with at least 100 points. That extends the longest streak in the history of the WNBA. The problem today, though, they've given up 105. And Timpson missed the free throw. And rebounded by Howard. And she is fouled immediately. And time and opportunities beginning to run out here for the Indiana Fever. Elsie Mitchell getting a last bit of instruction from Stephanie White. Williams to inbound, gets it to Miles. That's who you'd want it to be. 20 on the shot clock. Indiana's content to maybe just play this out defensively and not foul. Miles, a high pass to Williams. 8 to shoot. Collier back to Williams. 6 on the timer. Williams, runner. Good! That should do it. Williams with a big time 2. And it's now 107 to 100 with 32 seconds remaining in the game. Gotta think that's gonna be enough now. Should be enough. .26 for Courtney Williams, 7 of 12 from mid-range, and 12 of 20 from the floor in general. So 32 seconds. Here comes the inbounds pass. It's Clark. Pass a little too strong for Boston. Out of bounds. That should get Minnesota to the finish line definitely now with 27 seconds. Hard to see a way back now for the Indiana Fever. Give them a little bit of credit. They could have folded when Minnesota got that lead at 12 or 13. Indiana fought back, but just didn't have enough and ran in to a buzzsaw, the best team in the W right now. Williams foul with 25 seconds. Hull commits that foul. And so Courtney Williams will go back to the free throw line. A great performance today by her, and even more so by Olivia Miles. Williams gets the friendly roll on the first one, and if you're a Minnesota fan, make another free throw, and you'll feel like this will be a margin of victory. That kind of reflected the game, 9 to 10 points. 85% free throw shootout was her first free throw of the day. She misses the second. Go figure, she makes all those mid-range jumpers, and she only makes 1 out of 2 at the foul line. 20 seconds to go. Boston dribbles it across midcourt. Boston will pull up, shoot the 3. It misses off the front of the rim. Rebounded by McBride. Stephanie White's going to call off the Dogs. She's going to shake Cheryl Reese's hand. This one's going to be over. Well, catch them if you can. The W's hottest property resides in Minnesota. Olivia Miles and the Minnesota Lynx with their 10th straight win as they hold off a game Indiana fourth quarter effort. And the win streak over for Caitlin Clark's team. But the 25th win of the year for the Lynx, they win it 108 to 100 at the Target Center. An impressive showing today. Courtney Williams hitting clutch shots down the stretch as well. And what a performance by Olivia Miles, who, again, not only is she sewing up Rookie of the Year, she might need to be getting just a small bit of MVP consideration. And Indiana, good effort today, but fell behind that second and third quarters. In that second and third quarter, Indiana just got too far behind and just could not make it all up. And Minnesota gets the victory here today. So that'll do it from the Target Center. Minnesota a winner, 108-100 over Indiana. So thanks to Matthew Owens and JT for all the help they do. For everyone at YouTube, I'm Seth Eaves. So long and good day from the WNBA on Ultimate Sports Media. The Lynx win it 108-100 and stay number one with a bullet in the W. So long.